Hi guys, welcome back. Now I want to show you all the biggest mistake that you should avoid as a beginner. In all these past lectures, we have seen composition, lighting, where to put the subjects, how to create depth. But sometimes it's really difficult, even for intermediate or professional, to create the right image, the perfect one. Okay, let's start with composition errors. In this first picture, which looks cool, there is one big mistake. I am facing towards the right of the image, however, the space is on the left. This doesn't make any sense, it doesn't look good. Another mistake in this picture is that I'm not exactly in the intersection of the right and the bottom line. To correct this image would have been better if I was staying along the right vertical line. I would have had to face the other side or have space on the right side of the image. In the second picture, still looks good, color looks good, the sun looks great. However, I'm too far right. I'm still the subject of the picture, despite I want to show the background as well. But I should have stayed on the right line of the grid, as we mentioned earlier. Let's have a look at this picture. The sunset looks great, but there is a huge mistake. First of all, nothing is on focus. Everything is blurry. So what's the point to post a photo that is completely blurry? The horizon is not horizontal. Such a huge error, and so many times I see this on photos posted even on Instagram or wherever. I mean, it's fine if you're not a professional, but it's pretty easy to put the horizon just straight, right? And it doesn't take much time. Okay, let's have a look at this next example. If you're not focused and you don't know about this, you might think, okay, this looks good, there is a good composition, the sky, the colors are okay. However, let me tell you that the horizon is in the center. What did we say earlier? It's better if the horizon is on the first line or the second line of the grid. Okay, let me try to crop this image so you can understand the difference better. And this way we're gonna have 1/3 of the sky and 2/3 of the mountains and the snow. So as you can see, on the left is the before and on the right is after. Looks much better, right? In this next example, everything looks pretty good. The subject is not really on the intersection. However, what is the biggest mistake here? The highlights are burned. The image is too bright where the rocks are. In this case, we would have had to adjust it when we were shooting the picture because now it's too late. We lost the detail of the rock in the center of the image. And therefore, even in post-production, it will be basically impossible to bring back all the details. If we have had a camera, maybe you could adjust a bit these highlights. But here, we can't do anything. It's just burned. You can't use this picture. Even here, when we have a look at this picture, the composition looks great. There is the subject, which is this Donna. On the lower level, there is a hand, there is a tree, which is not in focus. There is the London Eye and the back. However, the sky is burned. Even here, we're too high with exposure. We should have shot with the lower exposure or bring back the highlights in post-production if they're not burned too much. Okay, let's have a look at another example. This picture looks quite good. It's not bad. The composition could have been okay. However, it's too dark. So we adjusted the exposure on the sky. So the sky is not burned. However, the shadows are too dark. We don't have any detail. It's completely black, pitch black. And this is a problem. It's not okay. In this case, as I mentioned you before, it's very difficult. Without a camera, just with a phone, when we shoot from a room inside where it's very dark and there is another side which is very bright, it's difficult because the phone doesn't have a very wide range. So either you burn the highlights or either you lose details in the shadows. Another really big mistake that I see is way too many people inside a photo or way too many subjects, way too much going on in a picture. Just try to keep it simple. Let's have a look at this picture. Right now you see myself smiling there in a picture. The composition could be okay. There is kind of 1/3 of the sky. There is the buildings, the church, the people, the grass, the shadow there of something, probably is a building, or I don't know what it is. It's just too much, way too much. When I have a look at this picture, I don't know where to look. There are the people, there is me, there's the church or the buildings. Just too much. Keep it simple. Maybe wait 5 minutes that these guys are gone. Or maybe try to get only the church instead of the building as well. Try to go away from this shadow. Just too much. Keep it simple. Okay, this next one, we're talking about leading lines. As we notice, there are a lot of things going on, and it could be fine if there was a subject. But in this photo, there is not a subject. All the lines, there are a lot of lines, and your eyes is lost. You don't know where to look at. Which one is the subject? Maybe it's the lamp, maybe are the people, maybe it's the top floor, maybe are the shops downstairs. There's just too much. Everything is pointing towards a point where there is nothing. So this is a wrong use of leading lines. I shot this picture and it was just a mistake. I just won't use it. It's really fine to make mistakes. You just need to recognize them and try to avoid it next time when you shoot. But during a shooting, it's totally normal to make a lot of mistakes. You just see in post-production and you won't use certain kind of picture that you notice they have mistakes. Okay, let's have a look at this picture. I really like this picture. It's taken from the bottom, so it has different perspective. And there is a taxi, there are a lot of reflection right there. Colors are good. I already edited this picture, but there is something that brings distraction inside the picture, which is probably the taxi that you see on the left. How about we cut this taxi and we just keep the one in the center? So we try to eliminate all the distraction that you see in the picture and just keep the subject. You should consider that every image that you shoot, every picture should have a meaning. So try to think when you shoot, what does that mean? What does communicate to me this picture? Do you want to say something with the picture? Does it have emotion? Does it have a subject? Try to ask yourself this question when you shoot. The last big mistake that beginners do is to edit too much the pictures. You gotta be very careful when you edit the pictures because it really makes or breaks the picture itself. There are a few elements that are very dangerous when editing. I'm gonna show you later on in the course, right after, how to edit colors, details, exposure, everything in the following lessons. There are 4 elements very dangerous that you need to avoid to push too much further on. Texture, vignetting, clarity, and dehaze. Very dangerous. Don't push them too much. Keep it very simple. For example, this picture looks very good, but it's edited way too much. Instead, what about this? Much less edited, looking great, good composition, good subject, nice depth of the image. There you go. All right, guys. These are the biggest mistakes that beginners do. I hope you learned something today. I hope you will try to avoid this. Try to think. I know there are a lot of elements that you need to think about, but sometimes try to watch back this video maybe, or keep it note and try to avoid all of this. And then you're gonna be shooting great photos. I'm sure about this. Ciao.